Yeah, it's coming in pretty quick. I might be able to get it done. Nice day out. Say hi to Clamp It Truck. Alright. This here is a Solo 603. And it's a genuine 100cc saw. Also built in the 80s. These saws were built from 1986 to 1995. But it has a more modern layout in the sense that the bar oil is in the case, but the gas is in the tank handle combination, and there's an anti-vibe system between the tank handle and the saw, sort of like Husqvarna and some of the Steels have. Its bore and stroke are big. It's got a 56 millimeter bore, kind of like those Hudzel big bores for the MS 660s, and a 42 millimeter stroke, and that yields 103 cc's of absolute badass two-stroke power. A couple of other little details about these. The Solo is a German company, and this one here says it was built in Stuttgart, Germany, which is kind of cool if you're into that kind of thing. The quality is unbelievable. I mean, if you look at the castings and things like that, they are absolutely top flight built machines. And it has another feature which is kind of interesting. It's like the X-Torques, where they have a cap that's removable on the transfers. This one does as well. So for guys who like the hot rod saws, here's a 100cc platform that you can go in there and grind on the transfers without having to use an angle head grinder. Now that means something to somebody, but I'm not going to touch it, but it's just an interesting little detail. It's a little choked up in the filter area, carburetor a little bit choked up, so I'm not sure we'll ever get to a full potential of a high revving 100cc machine, but there's a lot of potential in this saw. But I like it just the way it is. When I first was introduced to this saw, it came from Bob. The first time I saw it, my first impression was the thing runs like an old dirt bike. That's what it sounds like, and that's what it runs like. The old heavy flywheel, the old bing 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 that they had because of that. And it's been sitting, it needs to get run. Bob and I are going to drag out some big saws for the next get together, and this is one of the ones I wanted to bring to the table along with my Jonsered. But what I have right here, this is a 28-inch bar. I got a 24-inch bar on that 90cc 920. I have a 24-inch bar on that stock 2172 70cc X-Torque machine. And kind of wonder whether in that big old log we were hacking on yesterday, if you can see a difference between these saws. So I'm going to try to accomplish that before I get rained on. Alright, let's see how hard it is to get these things started first. This one right here, we'll just take a test cut with it so you have a baseline to go with. Now we ran this yesterday quite a bit. Pretty much the way it did yesterday, so let's go to the next saw quickly. I can honestly tell you that that's not a good representation of that saw. I mean, I had to push as hard as I could in order to get that chain to cut. The chain doesn't feel bad, but it's just not cutting anywhere near as good as the one that was on the 70cc saw. But if you notice, I had that thing flexed. So there's a lot of torque on that, even if it's a lower RPM. So this is yet another saw, like the 51.4, where it's really not getting an optimum showing because it's not set up optimally. If I had a 8-tooth sprocket, get the chain speed up, and a fresh chain, I'm pretty sure this would look a lot better. All right, let's see if we can get this thing to go. Well, I can tell you one thing, it's got a lot more power in it than what it's showing right there. It's flooding out at the higher RPM, so I definitely have an issue with the carburation. But I can also tell you that there's a massive amount of torque on this machine. Gets down those lower RPMs, it just pulls. So let me see if I can do it before the rain comes in and do a little bit of a tweak and tune on that carburetor and see if I can get it to get up in the RPMs the way it should. But I think you'll find if I can get the time on this saw, this is my first time running it in years. It's been sitting for a long time and it fired up pretty quick. This is a saw that deserves to get some run time.